Moin. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's Mace, your amateur Canadian, coming to you from Vancouver Island in Western Canada. And today we're checking out about who Donald Trump's grandparents were. I've seen comments sharing that his grandfather and grandmother were German, or I'm not sure if it's just one of them or who exactly emigrated and when. So this will be interesting to take a look into that. Trump's been throwing the world into chaos, throwing fits like a petulant child, and I think showing the world, who already knew who he was, by the way, but hopefully showing some of the people that voted for him that he is, in fact, a petulant child, a bully, a cynic, and as much as one of the elites as any of the others that, some of these people claim that he's fighting against. It's a joke. It's a joke. And his fits being thrown after, countries are rightly retaliating with their own tariffs after he's throwing up tariffs. I don't think he really understands how tariffs work. Actually, I think he does. However, let's not go down that road, because I feel like when people talk about Trump, a lot of the times it's framed as, he's playing 4D chess. You'll see that a lot by MAGA people. He's really playing 4D chess with Trudeau and the EU and He's so smart. He's one of the most intelligent people. That line of thought is not only stupid, it's completely false. The dude is not intelligent. He's essentially a trust fund baby who made his millions because of who his parents were, and has failed miserably in many business ventures. And now he's going to make one of the most powerful economic countries ever fail miserably as well. And you have to remember, at the end of the day, Trump is a symptom, right? Trump is not the end-all be-all. He's a symptom. There's 50 million Americans that voted for him. So let's find out his grandparents.
It's tough to separate Donald Trump from his hometown of New York City. In fact, his family has a long history in the Big Apple, starting with his grandparents. Friedrich and Elizabeth Trump were both born in Karlstadt, Germany, and actually grew up across the street from one another. In the 1880s, Friedrich ventured to North...
Wait, go back. I'm very sorry, but
with his grandparents. In fact, his family has a long history in the Big Apple, starting with his grandparents. Friedrich and Elizabeth Trump were both born in Karlstadt, Germany.
So his grandparents were both born in Karlstadt, Germany. Okay.
Actually grew up across the street from one another. In the 1880s, Friedrich ventured to North America, making a small fortune during Alaska's gold rush, operating restaurants and brothels. After Friedrich returned to Germany and married Elizabeth in 1902, the young couple left for a place where all immigrants could find a home, New York City. The city part of that was relatively new. The 5 boroughs had only formally incorporated 4 years prior. The Trumps first settled in with Friedrich's sister in Morrisania, a rapidly growing German neighborhood in the Bronx. Today, a nail salon occupies their old address. But even though they lived amongst their countrymen, Elizabeth quickly became homesick. After giving birth to their first child, also named Elizabeth in 1904, the growing family traveled back to Deutschland.
Was that 1904? And then they're going back? Okay, so he came to North America, made a fortune in the gold rush, traveled back to Germany, married Elizabeth. They came back to the States. She became homesick. They went back to Germany, had a child. Okay.
Amongst their countrymen, Elizabeth quickly became homesick. After giving birth to their first child, also named Elizabeth in 1904, the growing family traveled back to Deutschland.
The child then is an American citizen then?
But the German government wouldn't allow Friedrich to regain his citizenship, claiming he had only left for America in the first place to avoid the German Empire's mandatory military service. So, back to New York it was. They found their next home again.
Whoa. Imagine if the government of that time in Germany had reinstated his citizenship. It might have changed a few things, eh? Might have Chancellor Trump.
In the Bronx, an apartment building that still stands today. Now home to a liquor store.
Of course.
Elizabeth soon gave birth to their second child and first son, Frederick Christ, although he was known as Fred from an early age. A third child, John George, would be born 2 years later.
So Fred is going to be Trump's grandpa or dad? Dad, I think.
To provide for his young family, Friedrich set up a barber shop in Lower Manhattan, shaving and trimming men of finance at 60 Wall Street, now the headquarters of Deutsche Bank. But Friedrich wouldn't be satisfied with cutting rich men's hair for long. He wanted to be the one in the chair. So, in September 1908, he bought his first property as an investment,
Real
a
estate.
2-story dwelling in the Woodhaven neighborhood of Queens. To supplement his income, he took up a job as manager at the German-owned Medallion Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. The hotel has since been demolished, and the property now exists as a parking lot. Soon after, the whole Trump family moved to Queens to be closer to Friedrich's real estate interests, settling in a 2-story house in Woodhaven. Still a house today. All was good for the Trumps, but like many German immigrants in the U.S., they faced extreme bias after the outbreak of World War I. To appear more American, Friedrich...
Let's look back at those propaganda posters for a second. Beat back the Hun with Liberty Bonds. And they have like a picture of a terrifying looking man with blood on his hands and blood on his bayonet.
Extreme bias after the outbreak...
Wait, bayonet? My bad. Either way. Crush the Prussian by a bond. Third Liberty Loans.
...of World War I.
Destroy this mad brute. Enlist. Militarism, hat, culture.
To appear more American,
King
Friedrich Trump became Frederick Trump. Interestingly, his son Fred Trump would go on to further reject his German ancestry,
Okay, so Frederick, the original Frederick, was his grandfather. Okay.
claiming the family was Swedish in order to appeal to Jewish renters, a claim continued by his son well into the future.
Fred Trump was born in New Jersey in 1905. His father came here from Sweden.
Back in 1918, America experienced one of its most dangerous epidemics, the Spanish flu. Influenza killed over 21 million
The Trumps and lying. Name a better duo.
people worldwide that year, including Frederick Trump. Elizabeth went on to manage her deceased husband's budding real estate company, now entitled Elizabeth Trump and Son, the son being Fred. Until he was of age, Elizabeth bought and sold property, built homes, and arranged mortgages, all while sewing for her neighbors on the side. Fred soon took over the business, and over the course of several decades, built it into the family empire his son Donald would inherit.
The key point of the video there. The empire his son Donald would inherit. Dude didn't create anything. Petulant child. All right. Let me know what you guys think. It was kind of interesting. That line about, or the fact that his great-grandfather was denied citizenship back into Germany, or citizenship in Germany when they went back, is interesting. Because that could have changed a lot in history, right? Like you can make the joke, like, oh, you could have President or Chancellor Trump, whatever, right now. Of course, it doesn't work like that. I don't think quite like that. However, still a relatively interesting video. I didn't know that they just blatantly changed their family history. Or at least Donald did. I'm not sure when that idea sprouted. I think it was probably mentioned in the video. Frederick, of course, changed his name to appear less German and more American. And Trump, as a word, is not... It doesn't really sound like it's from anywhere specifically. So, yeah, interesting. All right. See you on the next one.